Around 12,000 taxi cabs are no longer plying the roads in Metro Manila because of fuel price hikes and the COVID-19 pandemic. The president of the Philippine National Taxi Operators Association, Bong Suntay, joins us now on The Final Word. Bong, thank you so much for joining us. How has this costly price of fuel and COVID-19 impacted the taxi business?
Hi, Rico. Good evening. It has hit not only the taxi sector, but the public transport sector in a negative way. As early as March 2020, when we were first hit by the COVID pandemic, it really disrupted the public transport system. The taxi sector, because of the numerous lockdowns, the restrictions which was imposed during that time, utilization rate went down to as low as 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were hoping that when COVID restrictions were lifted and were easing sometime December 2021, we were hoping that that business and the transport industry would be able to pick up. But sadly, we were hit by another problem, and that is the rising fuel cost.
That's right. So it's a double whammy, the COVID-19 pandemic, the lockdowns, and then you have now surging fuel prices. 12,000 taxi cabs no longer plying the roads in Metro Manila. Is this only the metropolis? What about other key cities in the south and the north? Are they also grounding their taxis because of this double whammy?
Hi, Rico. I'm not quite sure regarding the numbers in Visayas and Mindanao, but here in Metro Manila, where I have more accurate data, there are around 12,000. You're right. There are around 12,000 taxi units no longer plying the roads because of the rising fuel cost.
And taxi operators, Bong, want the LTFRB to approve their March petition, raising the flag down rate from 40 to 60 pesos. Is LTFRB making a decision soon?
Now, Rico, that is a win-win solution which I came up with together with the other taxi operators and drivers. Initially, way back in March, what some taxi operators and drivers wanted was to file a regular petition for fare increase, which would affect not only the flag down rate but even the succeeding meter rate on a per kilometer basis. But that would entail a long process.
Right.
So I was able to make that other taxi operators agree that what we should file is first a provisional petition for fare increase, and that is meter plus 20. That way, it can be immediately implemented by the LTFRB if they agree.
When do you think will the LTFRB make a decision? Because the taxi drivers need a decision now.
Yeah, you're right, Rico. We really need the decision immediately, and hopefully the board of the LTFRB could sit down together and come up with a decision with regards to the provisional fare increase. Dahil it's not really a complicated task, especially with the minimum fare increase that we're asking. The provisional fare increase of meter plus 20 pesos is actually the bare minimum,
right,
which would help the taxi drivers.
Well, a hike is due, taxi drivers, because the last time the LTFRB approved the taxi fare hike was in 2017 when the flag down rate had a 10 peso increase. But of course, it's already been 5 years, Bong, and over the years, without that hike, we're now seeing some illegal acts and illegal activities by taxi drivers, like imposing a fixed rate to a destination instead of charging by the meter and demanding that passengers add more to their fare. So if there's a a flag down raise or a rate hike, this will definitely take away some of those illegal practices.
That's true. That's true, Rico. You're correct. The last fare increase, which was given to the taxi sector, was way back in 2017, when prices of fuel was ranged between 38 to 40 pesos. You could just imagine that after 5 years, the cost of living went up, inflation went up, and the price of fuel has doubled. So this has pushed some taxi drivers to resort to contracting passengers or choosing which passengers to ferry, which operators would like to discourage. That's why we were asking LTFRB to help us, because we also don't want the taxi drivers to contract passengers, because that's illegal, that's against the law. So but sadly, because the drivers are hardly earning anything, some of them has resorted to doing those things.
And it is also unfair for the commuter who wants to get home from a long day at work. Bong Suntay, President of the Philippine National Taxi Operators Association, thank you so much for joining us. Well, outside